Hello everyone, I welcome you all to yet another session of DSEJ teleclasses. I'm Kamini Patania, working as a teacher at Government Higher Secondary School, Slare. Our today's session is meant for the students of class 9th. The subject is English and our today's topic is poetry. So let's begin our today's session. Children, I want to know from all of you how you begin your day. So what is the very first thing that you like to do early in the morning when you wake up? Children, your teachers, your parents and your elders must have taught you, told you and reminded you that you should begin your day with a prayer. Remembering God early in the morning makes your day easy. Isn't it so? Can you define the word prayer? What prayer is? Children, a prayer can be called a two-way conversation between God and you. Children, it has been said that a prayer should be the key of the day and lock of the night. What does it mean? It means that we should start our day with a prayer and end our day with a prayer. Such is the significance of prayer in our life. But have you ever observed this thing? That whenever we go to God, we always ask for favors. Whenever we are in problem, we are reminded of the God and we ask Him to help us, to show us some kindness, to favor us. Isn't it so? Has it ever happened with you that you prayed for somebody else's well-being? Has it happened that you asked for the well-being of others when you prayed to God? Children, today we are going to read a wonderful poem. The title of this poem is The Child's Prayer, and this poem is written by Sir Muhammad Iqbal. Children, in this poem we are going to read that what a child wishes from God. What is a child's prayer to the Almighty? Children, before we go into the details of the poem, let's recite and enjoy this poem. The Child's Prayer by Sir Muhammad Iqbal. My tender hopes arise to the lips, I pray. Kindly candlelight may my life be. May through me world's darkness vanish away, and every corner fill with light of day. May I adorn my land to me so dear, even as the blossoms make the garden fair. As the moth goes round the shining light in jest, so let me love the candle of knowledge best. To love and serve the poor my mission be, for the weak and those in pain my sympathy. Save me, my God, from all snares of evil. To walk the virtuous ways, grant me the will. Children, I hope you enjoyed reciting this poem. Now before we study the poem in detail, let's get acquainted to the poet of the poem, Sir Muhammad Iqbal. Children, you can see the picture of the poet Sir Muhammad Iqbal on your screens. Sir Muhammad Iqbal, who's also known as Allama Iqbal, was born in 1877 and he died in 1938. He was a Muslim philosopher, poet and politician of early 20th century. He is particularly known in the Indian subcontinent for his Urdu philosophical poetry. The poems he wrote up to 1905, they imbibe patriotism that includes the Tarane-e-Hind, popularly known as Sare Jahan Se Acha. You might have heard this song, Sare Jahan Se Acha. It has been written by Sir Muhammad Iqbal. The poem that we are going to read today, that is The Child's Prayer, is originally written in Urdu by Sir Muhammad Iqbal, and later on it was translated to English by Professor G.R. Malik. The poem begins with these lines: "My tender hopes arise to the lips, I pray, kindly candlelight may my life be." Let's first go through the new words. Tender. The word tender means kind, gentle, or affectionate. Children, this poem is a one-way conversation between a child and God. Here in this poem, the speaker is a child and the poem is addressed to God. So in these opening lines, the child says that his hopes, his wishes come to his lips in the form of words, and these words are in the form of a prayer, and he prays to God and says that he wishes his life should be like that of a candle. He wants to lead a life similar to that of a candle. Let's move ahead. In these lines, "May through me world's darkness vanish away, and every corner fill with light of day." See, in the last lines, we read that the child wishes his life to be like that of a candle. Now, why he wants his life to be like that of a candle? Because as candle removes the darkness, in the same way the child wants to remove ignorance from this world. He wants that his light, his own light, should be there to illuminate this world. He wants to fill every corner of this world with light. He wants to spread light in this ignorant world. Let's move on. Now we have these lines: "May I adorn my land to one so dear, even as the blossoms make the garden fair." Let's see some new words. Adorn. The word adorn means to decorate, and the word blossom. The word blossom means flower. Here in these lines, the child expresses one of his wish. He says that he wants to adorn his land. His land here means his nation, the country that he belongs to. The child says he wants to decorate his nation the way flowers decorate a garden. We all know that a garden looks beautiful when there are blooming flowers in the garden. So he says the way the blooming flowers decorate a garden adds to the beauty of a garden. In the same way, he wants to contribute to the growth and progress of his nation. He wants to work hard to serve his nation. He wants to work hard to make his nation a better place to live in. Let's move on. Now we have the lines: "As the moth goes round the shining light in jest, so let me love the candle of knowledge best." Let's go through the new words. The word moth. The word moth means an insect with wings. You can see the picture of a moth there. And the word jest means passion. In these lines, the child expresses his next wish. His next wish is to possess the same passion that a moth possesses. See, we know that a moth, for its love of light, even doesn't hesitate to sacrifice its life. So the child here wishes that he should also possess the same passion, the passion that a moth has for light. He should have the same passion for achieving knowledge. He wants to achieve knowledge with the same passion that a moth has for light. He knows the importance of knowledge. He knows how important knowledge is to make this world a better place. And he knows that if one is not passionate about gaining knowledge, about attaining knowledge, one cannot attain it. So he says that he should be filled with same passion with which a moth is filled. The passion that a moth feels for the light, he should feel the same passion for achieving knowledge. Let's move on. The next lines, to love and serve the poor, my mission be. For the weak and those in pain, my sympathy. In these lines, the poet expresses his next wish. The child expresses his next wish. He says that his life's mission should be to love, to serve the people who are in need. He wants to love. He wants to serve those people who are poor, who are deprived of the happiness, the basic needs of life. Then he says that he wants to take care of those who are weak, those who are in pain. He wants to feel their pain. He wants to sympathize with those who are weak and who are in pain. Let's move on. Save me, my God, from all snares of evil. To walk the virtuous ways, grant me the will. Let's go through the new words. The word snare. The word snare means trap. And the word virtuous. Word virtuous means pious. In these lines, the child expresses his next wish. He says, rather he prays to God and says, save me from all snares of evil. See, this world is full of evil. All around we are surrounded with evil. So the child doubts that it may happen that he fall a prey to these evils. He may fall a prey to these evils. So he prays to God to save him from the trap of these evils. He should not fall a prey to these evils and get distracted from the mission of his life. So he appeals to God that save him from all these traps of evil and provide him the strength, provide him the determination to walk on the right path. He wants to walk on a virtuous path. He wants to opt a pious path to lead his life, but it's very difficult. So he prays to God to provide him that determination to move on a virtuous path, to walk on a pious path. Now let's discuss the central idea of the poem The Child's Prayer by Sir Muhammad Iqbal. The poem, The Child's Prayer, is about the pious and upright wishes of a child. It begins with the noble words in which the child expresses his heart. He says that his wishes come to his lips as a supplication. The prayer is further addressed to God, seeking protection from evil. It asks God to light up the darkness in the world through the light in one's own life. The speaker, a young child, he wants to serve his nation and help the needy. He wants to sympathize with those who are weak, who are in pain. Next we have literary devices. The poet Sir Muhammad Iqbal in this poem on particular has used two of the literary devices. These are metaphor and simile. Let's discuss them one by one. First we have metaphor. So what a metaphor is? A metaphor describes an object or action in a way that isn't literally true, but helps to explain an idea or make a comparison. It states that one thing is another thing. It equates those two things not because they are actually same, but for the sake of comparison or symbolism. This definition will be crystal clear with the help of the examples. So let's look at the examples. Let's first look at the first example. John's suggestion was just a band-aid for the problem. Here in this line, the word suggestion is compared to band-aid. See, children, if we literally see, there is no similarity between suggestion and a band-aid. But suggestion is compared to band-aid to showcase that how fruitful or how effective the suggestion was. So John's suggestion was just a band-aid for the problem is an example of metaphor. Here band-aid stands for the word suggestion. Now look at the next example. Her tears were a river flowing down her cheeks. Obviously, tears are nowhere equivalent to a river. But why the writer has written in such a way? Because he wants to give an impact to the readers that whoever is crying here in this line, she is crying hard. She's crying a lot. So her tears are compared to river just to give the impact of crying, that how hard this girl is crying. So her tears were a river flowing down her cheeks is a perfect example of metaphor. Now let's see some examples of metaphor from the poem The Child's Prayer. So let me love the candle of knowledge best. In this line, the phrase candle of knowledge, here knowledge is compared to candle. The way the light of a candle helps in removing the darkness, in the same way a person who is knowledgeable, a person who is educated is able to remove the ignorance from this world. So knowledge is compared to candle. We have one more example. Save me, my God, from all snares of evil. Here snares of evil. The evils are compared to trap. The word evil here is compared to the word snares. So, save me, my God, from all snares of evil is an example of metaphor. Let's move on. Now we have simile. So, what a simile is? A simile is a figure of speech that compares two different things in an interesting way, using the word like or the word as. The purpose of a simile is to spark an interesting connection in a reader's or listener's mind. A simile is one of the most common forms of figurative language. You use it in your daily life without acknowledging it. Let's discuss some examples of simile. Look at this small poem. A friend is like a star that twinkles and glows. In the very first line, the poet has compared a friend to a star with the help of the word like. Then, or maybe like the ocean. The friend is compared to an ocean. Then in the next line, a friend is like gold. Here, friend is compared to gold. So we can see the poet with the help of the word like has first compared a friend to a star, then a friend to an ocean, and then a friend to gold. So here the comparison between two things, two objects is made with the help of the word like. So this is an example of simile. Let's go through some examples of simile from the poem. Even as the blossoms make the garden fair. So the poet compares himself to the blossoms. The way blossoms decorate a garden. In the same way, the poet, the child who is the speaker in the poem, wants to decorate his nation, wants to serve his nation. The second example of simile, as the moth goes round the shining light. So here the child has tried to compare himself to the moth. He wants to possess the passion that a moth possesses. So here there is a comparison between the child and the moth. Now we have recited the poem. We even studied the poem in detail. We even discussed the literary devices that the poet has used in this poem. We discussed the central idea of the poem. Now let's see how much we have understood this poem. And to just check our understanding, we are going to discuss some questions. So let's begin with the questions. So the first question here is, who is the speaker in the poem and to whom it is addressed? See, yes, the speaker in the poem is a child and this poem is addressed to God. The next question is, what does the child wish to be? List his wishes in the order they are discussed in the poem. So we have to make a list of the wishes of the child. So let's see, what are they? The child's wishes are, see, his first wish is that he wants his life to be like that of a candle, removing the darkness of the ignorance from the world. So his first wish is that his life should be like that of a candle. His second wish is he wants to serve his nation. He wants to contribute to the nation's progress and growth. Then his third wish is he wants to attain immense knowledge. He wants to gain knowledge. Then his wish is that he wants to love and serve the needy, people who are poor, people who are in need. He wants to love them. He wants to serve them. Then his next wish is that he wants to sympathize with people who are weak and who are in pain. He wants to look after, he wants to take care of the people who are weak, who are in pain. He wants to feel their pain. Then his next wish is he wants to walk on a virtuous path. He wants to walk on a pious path. He wants to move in a direction that leads him to accomplish his mission of life. The next question is, why does the child want to be first a candle, then a moth, then a blossom? We will discuss them one by one. First, why he wants his life to be like that of a candle. Why he wants that he should live a life like that of a candle. See, the child wants to be a candle so that he could free the world from the ignorance. He wants to illuminate every corner of this world through the torch of his knowledge. He wants that as the candle removes darkness, he wants to remove ignorance from this world. Then we have moth. The child wants to be a moth. Why? The child wishes to be as passionate as a moth to achieve knowledge. He feels the way a moth is passionate about light, same zeal he should possess to attain immense knowledge. He knows that gaining knowledge is not an easy process. One needs a strong determination. One needs to be passionate about it. So he wants that the passion that a moth possesses for light, same enthusiasm, same determination, same zeal he should possess to attain knowledge. Then we have blossom. The child wishes to adorn his nation the way a blossom adorns a garden. Actually, he wants to contribute to his nation's progress and growth. He wishes to serve his nation to make it a better place. He knows that he has to work hard if he wants his nation to progress, and he wants to contribute in whatever little way he can. Then we have the fourth question. What is the child's mission? See, the child's mission here is to serve the poor and needy, people who are deprived of happiness, people who are deprived of basic necessities of life. He wants to serve those people. He wants to help those people. He even wants to sympathize with those who are weak, who are in pain. He wants to feel the pain of those people who are suffering for one or the other reason. This is his mission of, this is child's mission. He wants to live a life that could be utilized in the service of people who are in need. Now let's practice a question that is based on the comprehension. See, what does comprehension means? you have to read a stanza, and on the basis of your understanding of that stanza, you have to answer certain questions. So read the extract below and answer the following questions. So let's first read the extract. May I adorn my land, to me so dear, even as the blossoms make the garden fair, as the moth goes round the shining light in jest, so let me love the candle of knowledge best. So the first question here is, who does I refer to in this stanza? See, in this stanza, I refers to the speaker. And who's the speaker? The child. So I here refers to the child, the speaker. What does I wish for? What is his wish? See, in this particular stanza, the child wishes that he should be able to serve his nation. He should be able to contribute to the progress and growth of his nation. The way a flower beautifies, adorns a garden, in the same way he wants to work hard to serve his nation and to make it a better place. And the second wish that he has expressed here in this stanza is that he wants to be as passionate as a moth to attain knowledge. Then explain the literary device used in this stanza. See, the literary device used in this stanza is simile. In the first two lines, the poet has compared himself to a blossom. He wants to decorate his nation the way blossoms decorate the garden. And in the last two lines, the poet has compared himself to a moth. He says he should have the passion that a moth possesses. The way a moth is ready to risk his life for the sake of light, in the same way he should have the passion, he should have the zeal, he should have the enthusiasm to attain knowledge. So the literary device used in this stanza is simile. Now there is a small task for you people to do at home, that is suggested listening. You read this poem, you recited the poem, we discussed the poem in detail, and I'm quite sure you must have enjoyed this poem. Now, as we discussed earlier, that originally this poem was written in Urdu by the poet Sir Muhammad Iqbal. So I want you people to go to internet, search a little and find out the original poem there on net. It is available there in the form of a song, a lovely melodious song. I want you people to just browse through the net and get hold of this song and listen to it. In Urdu, it goes like this. Lag pe aati hai dua banke tamanna meri. If you will search with the help of these words, you will definitely get this song there. I personally feel if you will listen to this song, you will be able to have a better understanding of this poem. Children, I hope you enjoyed today's session as much as I have enjoyed. I'm quite hopeful you also have enjoyed the session in the same way. So till we meet next, I take your leave and thank you so much. Thank you all.